Welcome to BizTips with Jenny Rice, bringing you insights from real entrepreneurs. No fluff, just raw, practical strategies from those who've been in the trenches. Whether you're launching, scaling, or pivoting, this podcast is your backstage pass to lessons, successes, and game-changing tips. Get ready to learn, take action, and level up. Let's dive in with our next guest.
Hi, this is Jenny with BizTips podcast. I'm so excited about our guest today. We have Paula Telesian, right, who's a mentor from Suarez Art Group. Thank you so much for being here, Paula.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit more about the Academy and your background.
All right, so I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years, pretty much my whole adult life. And I had a midlife crisis that did not net me a motorcycle or muscle car. I'm very bitter about that. But it did push me in the direction I was always meant to be, which was an artist, a visual artist. So I spent several years being a full-time artist. I traveled around Ontario and Quebec selling my work. I was represented by galleries, and then all of that came to a screeching halt when I had an accident. And that accident prevented me from making art, which, as artists know, is pretty much like a little death. And so I had to figure out how to make money using my strengths, and my strengths being an entrepreneur and being an artist. And so I married those two together and started teaching artists how to sell art, how to set up online businesses, how to create more success with a lot less sort of flapping about and trying to reinvent the wheel themselves. And just recently, like we just launched in February, the Suarez Art Academy. So I joined up with the UK's one of the UK's most successful contemporary art teams, and together we are promoting artists and teaching them how to set up and run businesses. So this is to a larger audience, using the skills and experience of Ed Suarez and AD Webb, who have worked together for a very long time. So it's quite exciting to be working with them and to help more artists globally.
That's amazing. And I love that you're helping artists, because I would imagine I'm a bit of a creative artist myself, but that when you're in that space, this is what you do, this is what you love. You might not have that business background to support your goals and things like that. So to be able to say, I'm going to support you in your success as an artist, because so you can focus on your art.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So basically, artists go through art school, and I know this because I went through art school myself. And we're taught how to make art. We're taught how to be the best we can be. We're taught all the basics. We are not taught how to run businesses at all. It's sort of go out there, good luck, fly birdie, and and a lot of people don't, which is why there's this misconception that if you are going to be a professional artist, you're going to be poor, right? But we don't expect people who go out into other industries like making table legs or canoes or whatever to launch a business with no business skills. But somehow artists are kind of expected to do that, like business is icky or something. So my goal with all of this is to give artists the tools that they need to set up and run their businesses properly and profitably. So yes, you'll be 50% on your business, 50% on your art, but when you spend that time on your business, it will be to get sales. It will be to generate income. It will be to grow and put yourself in front of the right audience. So yeah, the accident I had may have destroyed my art career, but it gave me my calling, which is, we need more artists in the world, and we need more art businesses, and we need more creatives for people to step off the rat race and actually do something wonderful with their lives.
Absolutely. Art is such an important part of life, creativity, expression. And for those of us that maybe are not artists, create them to enjoy the art, right? And we can't enjoy the art if we don't have access to it, if we don't see it, if we don't have those artists, aware and out there, which is great that you provide that service too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a way of giving back. So, and a little bit of way of protesting, because there's more to life than STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and math. There is a
Right.
lot more to life than that. So,
Yes.
yeah, it's my way of giving back to humanity.
Right. Do you work with artists one-on-one or collectives, or how do you actually work with artists?
So we actually offer a 12-week program. So it's group work, not literally group work, because that would be awful, but it's people go into the community that we have. They watch the videos, read the PDFs, do the work, and then every week we answer questions. So there's live not live one-on-ones, live group questions. And then there's options to work with me one-on-one. It's a lot more expensive, but there are options to get that personalized help as well.
Great.
So yeah, but right now the focus is the 12-week program to help artists get all the tools that they need so that they can create the businesses that they want.
That's great. So that's the academy that you have
That's the
that people
academy.
can
Yeah.
join and learn. And
Yeah.
it's great that you have because I'm a course design expert too, that you have that ability to say, here's the content, you can do it on your own time, but let's go together and answer any questions you might have also.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of times the things, I mean, it's the curse of knowledge. The things that we teach, we think make sense. Then somebody comes by and says, but you're missing that step between A and B. And so having the Q&As, I found over the years is super critical for ensuring that artists understand things. And I create a space where it's safe for people to ask questions, right? There's no stupid questions. We don't know what we don't know.
Mhm.
And my job is to sort of fill in that gap and do so in a way that is inviting and doesn't call somebody out for having a lack of knowledge.
Right, right. And I love that your offer is so clearly niched, meaning that you know who your target audience is, which is so important when you're offering a service as an entrepreneur, is knowing who you're serving. And a lot of people seem to I want to serve this many people without realizing niching down is actually more profitable and more targeted, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I do that breakdown actually for artists because a lot of them, and this is, again, they don't have the training, so they don't realize that niching down is critical, but we do the math breakdown. So 7 billion people on the planet, maybe half the people want art, maybe half of those, that's 3.5 billion, maybe half of those have the means to buy arts, that's 1.75 billion. Maybe half of those, or maybe 1 billion of those, let's make the math easier. 1 billion of those want the kind of art you make. Maybe half of those actually are actively looking for it. That's 500 million people who could potentially want your work. Niching down is not going to eliminate buyers,
Right.
right? So when you sort of couch it in those numbers, it makes it easier to say, okay, yes, I can niche down because there's no way an artist could serve even, 100,000 people in their lifetime. So 500 million, like,
Hmm.
fine.
It's a big piece
Yeah.
of the pie, right?
Yeah.
So when you think of yourself, your story about when your fall and then your accident, you couldn't work anymore. Tell me more about any challenges you face as an entrepreneur and how did you overcome them?
There's always challenges. So a lot of it is, if you're neurospicy, and a lot of artists are, then it is the consistency. It's showing up. It's doing things even when you don't want to. When we own our own businesses, we often have to show up more than we would if we were working a 9 to 5.
Mhm.
So my challenges have been largely physical because the accident did really mess me up. But I've had people in my inner circle who've sabotaged me, who've been saying, little things that sound nice, but they are not nice. Like
Mhm.
they're designed to sort of kick you down a notch. So one of the things I've seen with artists and with myself is that sometimes friends and family are not the supports you need. You need
Mhm.
supports from your community. You need supports from people who are in the trenches doing the work. Your friends and family want you to be safe. Maybe they don't quite believe in you. Maybe they're a little bit jealous. But your community, generally, they don't have the same sort of skin in the game with you. They just want to succeed themselves. They're not worried about whether you're succeeding or failing or whatever. So a lot of the challenges come from whether you have that support, that mindset support, that emotional support. And of course, when life throws ice in your way, there are those challenges too.
Mhm. How insightful to say, I have a vision and I know where I'm heading and I'm confident. I need people around me to support that vision. And you know what? If you don't, get out of the way because I'm going to go there. It can be really, discouraging to have people around that want to bring you down, that, as you said, want to keep you safe, maybe, but don't believe in your vision or don't support you in that, which is really important to be aware of and then to align yourself with those people too, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's why the 12-week mastermind that we offer also includes a lifetime access to the group community so that you have that constant support with other artists and with us. That's where the Q&As are done. So once you sign up to the
Wonderful.
masterclass or mastermind, I call it a masterclass, the mastermind, you get lifetime access to support because you could take the 12-week course and then walk off and go, I forgot how to do this, or I'm flagging or whatever. So you come back, take it again. sit in the community, talk to other artists, ask us questions, and get that support. I so firmly believe in creating an environment where artists thrive, that you pay once and that's it for life. You're in it for
Hmm.
life, so
That's great.
that there isn't no excuse for not creating success.
Right. They have that ongoing support
Yeah.
that, they can build on each other. And because you're globally accessible too, people can work together in different countries, different areas, but then also maybe find other people locally too to support
Hmm.
with, which is really great. I love that. And you mentioned you might have a promotion or an offer for listeners.
Yes, so I have a PDF offer for listeners, and it is, I'm just going to pop up my URL here, but it is 3 things you can do right now to sell more art. So it is a PDF that you can download from our website, and I will pass the URL on so that you can post it with the show notes. But it's
Great.
absolutely free. Just put your email in, and it will be sent to you. And it is a way of kickstarting within 7 days your art business. So a
That's
little bit of
great.
focus, a little bit of support.
Great. Good tips for that. So as we end the podcast, any tips you have about running a business that we can share with other potential entrepreneurs too?
Have that community. So one of the biggest and best things I did for myself last year was actually joined a paid networking community, not for the networking, but for the support, because it's small enough that we all know each other now. Um, Join a community, and none of them teach artists. There's no competition in there for me, which is fine. I don't care. I was looking for people who are in the trenches. So find your peers, especially if you're teaching other people, find people who are at your same level and hang out with them, because when things get tough, and they always do at some point, you have those people who have your back and can say, you know what, chin up. You were fine last month. You'll be fine next month. This month kind of is challenging.
Hmm.
So yeah, that would be my biggest tip, is find your peers. We can't do it alone. We are not islands. Humans are designed to be in communities
Yes.
and family groups and whatever. But family groups don't necessarily mean genetic family. They could be just family
Yes. Your
because
tribe.
entrepreneurs. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to call them a tribe. So
Yeah.
true, because I, I would imagine artistry is something you primarily do alone. So, the whole other part of being an artist, you want that community there and like-minded people that support your creativity, that understand how you work, how you express yourself, and all those different things too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Very,
Exactly.
very exciting.
Hmm.
Well, I'm a
Yep.
big supporter of the art world. I'm a bit of an artist myself. I collect art. So I really support, what you're doing, helping other people and creating more joy and color in the world for different people too.
Thank you. Yeah, I truly believe in this mission, and it's so important to have a mission that speaks to you when you're in the trenches doing the work in the business. So yeah.
That's great.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Paula, for being a guest on this podcast. I've learned something, been inspired. So thank you for that.
Thank you for having me. I
Yeah.
appreciate your time.
So this is Jenny Rice with our podcast with our special guest, Paula. Thank you again, Paula.
Thank you.
That's a wrap on this episode of BizTips. For more insights, join us online. We share exclusive tips, resources, and strategies to help you grow and scale your business. Until next time, keep building, innovating, and making an impact.